Hi, good evening, and this is a quick walkthrough on some of the main features of Substack. Some of these are very new, that's not very well known. Some of these are existing features that are not widely utilized. I just thought I would save the trouble for many of you who might be Substack users, but you don't have to go through the difficulty that I did in discovering these features. Hi, good evening again. My name is Sridhar Pai, and in this video, we begin the walkthrough right here. So what you have on screen, and hopefully you're able to see my screen, is actually the Substack home. This is the Substack home page. This is not your home page. This is the Substack home page, where you will see at the top the most commonly used, if you can see the mouse scrolling here, these are the most commonly used Substack feeds or newsletters that you have been watching. So this is the following list or the ones that you've recently watched. And then this button here actually is the following list. So if you click on it, you will start seeing the people that you're following and their latest publications. So I'm going back to the home, and the rest of the buttons there on the top are all current topics which are either trending or available with large volumes of users. Now you can go to the dashboard, and on the right you can see the login information as well as your profile and your own personal information. Now, I'm not going to go to the point of talking about you setting up the account and all of that. They're too basic, and I'm sure that you're well past that stage. So I'm going straight into your current dashboard, which should look like this. Okay. Now, if you are at this point, I have to tell you that when you click on the dashboard, you will actually see the dashboard of your publication. So let me go back there and look at this. There's a little arrow next to dashboard. If you click on that, it shows the publications that you own or the publications that you run. I have two publications here. The one at the bottom is actually an older publication which I no longer really use, but it still has some subscribers, so I've not moved from there. And this one, if you can see this one, this is called A to Z of GTM for Solopreneurs and Tech Startups, which is my primary publication. In fact, it is the only one I care about right now. Now, this is the type of screen you will see. As you can tell, I'm myself quite a newbie. I have not been around for a while. About 2 months or so is how long I've been active. And you can see the vital stats here in terms of all subscribers, how many of them came from the app, all of that information. Currently, I do not have any monetization that I have not opened that tab yet. And therefore, this box here is 0. But this is the kind of traffic that's being generated by the posts, and all of that information is available here for you. Now, however, this is really your dashboard. So it is a panel to show you how your posts and your different types of traffic streams are working. It is really not your home. Okay, the home of your publication is when you click on this button called View Site. Now, View Site is the place where you will actually see this is the home of your publication. If you can see here, it has got the profile user, which is Sridhar Pai Tonse, that's me, .substack.com. This is the standard description for anyone, the several million of them that are all on Substack, and this should be their homepage. This is how it would look. Again, as an aside, I can tell you that there are other ways to also present your website or the homepage of your publication. This view can be changed, but I will not go into that today. This is just to let you know that this is the current design I have picked, and you will have a couple alternatives for you. Now, this post here is actually not my latest post, but I have pinned it because I kind of like this image and like the post. This is called, this is a pinned image or a pinned post. And if you go into it, you'll see the full post. If you don't have a pinned post, then the most latest post will actually appear here in this space, okay? And for anything, any manipulations or changes to be done on that, you just have to go to these 3 dots here, and then it will tell you what you want to do. For example, here you can unpin, you can pause notifications, you can share images and so on. I just want to spend a minute here and tell you how that works. So let's just get right in. For example, if I go in here, it actually blows up that page, blows up the post and shows the full post here. You can see that. And I will not get into these, how to insert the button. All of this is very straightforward. You can insert a button at any point in the edit mode by asking for, there's a bunch of buttons, subscribe, all of those buttons. You can use any of them, and these standard things get plugged into the newsletter or whatever your publication is. The point I'm making is, in this post, if you go here, let's go here to these three buttons. You can actually either edit it here, or you can make a copy and then change that. You can cross post, you can view stats. For example, if you go here, this specific post has generated about 105 odd views, 74 recipients. Open rate is about close to 30%, which is considered reasonable. It's not bad. And then I go back to the post. Now, again, I go to the three dots there, and you can look at this one here. I just want to spend 30 seconds here. It's called Get Images, Get Share Images. And that actually means that in this post, you can get these specific types of images that are associated with this post and use them to share it outside of Substack. How do you do that? For example, if you click on that link, you'll get these posts. So you look at this. This is shared as an image. So basically, these images have been built for standard Instagram handles, Instagram vertical model, and so on. So it's already created here. You can just go download whatever image you want. It downloads to your machine. And then there you can right click or edit and add the link to this post and then start sharing it. I mean, this again is very obvious. It's probably something you already know, but I just want to tell some of you folks that this is the distribution edge that Substack gives you. So comfortable and easy. In minutes after your post is done, you can use these handles to distribute it. Because end of the day, you are a publisher, but a publisher is worthless if you cannot distribute. So remember, no matter how much of stuff you create, end of the day, you have to push send and publish. And after you publish, you have to use distribution handles and automation possible so that the thing can go out into the world. And this is exactly what this thing is doing. All right. Now, here is something I want to tell you. Share as a video is a very useful thing. Again, a lot of people don't know about this. What you do here, turn your post into a shareable video. Basically, this means that no matter what kind of a post you have, text, short text, long form text, whatever, if you go here and push create, it'll actually convert a part of your text that you define into a spoken video, which I will show you right now. For example, and look at this demo. If you can see the screen, you can just pick. For example, I'm saying select a chunk of text from that body of the post, right? So I'm just going to pick this chunk, let's say this one, and I'm going to use this as text, which means it'll now go and start creating a video. See, it's asking me to select a voice. So I can either speak myself or upload a voiceover file, or I can go to AI voiceover. If I do AI voiceover, it'll start picking up and converting that 3 lines of text. You can actually increase it more. I just did this for a demo purpose. You can actually add more content and then choose that, and it starts generating the video. If you can see that, this can take up to 30 seconds. Now, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to skip this, but I just wanted to use the opportunity to show you that no matter what text you write, however long, short, you can actually pick a portion of it, and AI voice will make it available for you as a video. Now, it's already done, so I'll just click it. I've not optimized this Zoom call for playing video, so let's see how much of it will come through. I do not know, but I'll just play.
2 decades ago, a young boy was being nudged by his mother at a family dinner to eat well, study hard, and get a good job, lest he end up waiting tables like the man serving them.
Okay, I'm going to pause that, guys. So you get it? So it's very easy. I mean, that's not even my voice. It's an AI voice. It's probably much better than mine. So like it just takes 30 seconds for you to take a portion of your post and convert that into a video. Then what I do is I go here, right click, and then I download it. And look at this. If I download it, it goes into my hard drive here. And then from there, I can post it either as a short, as a YouTube short, or an Instagram post, or reel, or whatever. And then I'm off to the races. So that's a very useful feature on Substack that will help you actually take it to the distribution end of whatever you want. So now we'll step out of this and I'll go back to home. I hope this has been useful so far. And so that is how you create a post. And here, for any creation, you go here, create new. If I just click that, you can create a text post, which is typically a long post, or you can create a new note, which is a short post. For those that do not know, note is actually considered as an X equivalent of Substack. And however, I would argue that is not really a perfect equivalent, because X is really connected to the wide world outside, And this is still somewhat inside Substack. Having said that, you can create an equivalent of a Twitter storm, a Twitter thread, by having connected Twitter or X threads or an X storm. Here you can do it similarly with a series of notes, but it depends on how you want to do it. Some people, like what I do for Substack is, if I have a quick thought that I feel I should share, I just go in open note and put in 3 lines, 2 lines, or even 5 lines and post it. And then later on, if it picked up a lot of response, I can use that to actually write a longer post. The other way around works too. You can write a longer post, and then to share it with others, you can create a small piece of it and put it in a note and then link it back to the post and tell them, hey guys, if you like it or you want the full form of it, it's right here. So you see how many ways you can cross collaborate and cross post, both within Substack and outside. That's very, very useful. And we just talked about the video post. Other than this, you can actually go in and do a recording and do a video post like this. You can go into video post, and then it says here, how do you want to do it? You want to record it right here, in which case it will start recording for you. I can record the audio or record the video. Or you can select a file, in which case it actually takes you to your hard drive, and you can pick up a location and go to the file that you already stored, a video file, and upload it, and then add some text here, and then you're ready to post a video post. So again, everything is embedded inside, so it makes it very, very easy. I come back now to the previous post here. You with me so far? And then if you decide to do an audio post, for example, then you would have to go to what we call a podcast. And here you can do an audio post, which is very similar to what the video we talked about. If you have an existing audio post that you want to file, you can just upload an MP3, or you want to go and actually do the recording, you can do the recording here. My personal experience is I tried the recording on Substack. I was not very happy with the video audio quality, so I actually use my regular audio recorder in Veed, which is very, very good. If you don't know, it's veed.io. It's an excellent package that does both video editing as well as audio. Or you can go to Descript and then download the file from there and then upload it here for your Substack audience. Having said all of that, I can also tell you, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. You can just link it to an existing audio post which is outside of Substack. That's okay too. So those are the ways in which you can actually put new posts. All right. I'm kind of losing track of the time. I'm hoping that this is still very much within the range I was planning to make today. So we are now moving over to just one other post I want to tell you, not a post, but one other feature, which will be dashboard. So let's now go into the dashboard, which is what we have here in front of us. And if you look at the posts, this is a good place to tell you how your posts are faring. I'm just a newbie, so I don't have too much traffic anyway. But just to let you know, the entire list of posts are here. Some of them are audio posts, some of them are video posts, some of them are text posts, and I keep experimenting a lot. So you will see many of those varieties here. I'm not sticking to one format, and that's simply to see how it works, because my students actually need to build all these skills. So I'm constantly trying to show them how things work. For example, if you look at these, are 53 views, 49 views, some of them are 100 views, whatever. And then if you go into the subscribers, there's a good place to tell you how your current subscription is doing. I have over 73 or maybe 75. And then here you can go into all subscribers, which shows you that I think I've lost one. Somebody may have pulled out. It's fine. And then you can go to followers. In the followers, as you can tell, that's a healthy run. It's going to about 201 something, which is no big deal. I mean, if you're posting regularly, your community starts figuring out, and then slowly the trust builds up, and then start coming back and then following you and then ask questions and so on. So everything even further depends on type of purpose you have. What is your objective? Do you just do this for fun? Or are you trying to sell something? Are you trying to educate someone? Are you trying to help them? Now, one of the things I normally go to here is checking at traffic. So traffic, this is how traffic builds up, and on the days that you have high activity and low activity and so on. In the last 2 days, I don't think I've made any posts, so it's trailing off. But it's very sensitive and very, very useful, because it tells you exactly how you're doing, and this is a good dashboard to keep a track of. Emails, this is again a good place. It tells you how frequently your emails are being opened, which emails are doing well, which posts are doing well, because open rate is a big deal, right? I mean, otherwise it means that stuff is just going and sitting in the inbox, nobody is reading it. Here at least 30% of them are reading it, and so on. Now I move on to podcast. In podcast, again, I found this fabulous. And my podcast has actually started only like not even a month ago. That's where I started. And I like the podcasting because it's very natural for me to speak. I love it. And the tools today enable you to do it really quickly. And many times, I don't know if you know how long, if you guys have done it, but a typical 3 to 5 minute podcast for me takes not more than 30 minutes from production to edit to post. I'm not kidding. That's all it takes, because it depends on how comfortable you are with the tools. So it's a great way to get your message out there. So, and in podcast, you can go down further and see that you can link it back to a lot of people pick it up on Apple Podcasts, about 9%, Spotify, and even you can link it back to YouTube podcasts. Now, I've not gone into the settings there, but if I do, I can show you some more. Let me do that right now. For example, if you go to settings, for the podcast settings, there is a specific place here. If you go into podcast settings here, and then that tells you how to connect your existing podcast. If you have already some shows outside of Substack, you can plug it in back here, and there's something called RSS feed. And through RSS feed, you can actually go and make sure that whenever you make a podcast episode on Substack, it automatically updates your Spotify or Buzzsprout or Apple Podcasts or wherever that is. So that is how this works. And if you have any specific questions on this portion, I'm happy to take it offline, because this is a slightly specialized thing. Not everyone is interested in it. So I'm just going to skip it for now. Now, this is generally how the different types of podcasts, different types of posts, and how the settings work. I hope that's been useful to you. And I just want to maybe pause here for a minute and take you to closure. So basically, I think we've covered a quick hang of how Substack can help you. The reason I really want to push this is because if you're a solopreneur or a coach or a creator, you really no longer need to go to 5-6 different platforms, because thanks to Substack, it's integrated so well that you can use this as your native digital home. And from here, you can create and start using all the distribution handles available to get your message outside. And this is very, very useful compared to even maybe 6-7 months ago, when you had to actually go to YouTube, make a separate podcast, go to any other platform, make a separate podcast, and then keep that whole activity would have taken hours per episode. But not in this case, because it allows you to do this seamlessly. Now, I'm coming to we're at the very end. Thank you for watching. You can follow me here at Sridhar at substack.com if you are already on the web. And if you like the full system, about how I use, there are various other tools behind this that I normally use for generating ideas, creating a post, automating the whole thing. So, so you can get your digital footprint live on day one in less than 20-30 minutes a day. And if you do it consistently enough, I can guarantee you that in 1 year, you'll have a few thousand subscribers. That's your digital community. And from there, you can move forward, whether you monetize, build a community, free community, whatever. All of that can be done from this point. So this is how it works, guys. I'm so happy for those of you who stayed around, or those of you who have not had the time and want to come back and watch more of it. This is available both on Substack as well as outside. Feel free and ping me back if this is something that's, any questions or you want to learn more of this. Thank you. And I'm going to wind up for this episode at this point. Take care and good day.